Hey guys, welcome back. This is my first video going into a little bit more in-depth about the topics that I discussed in my my channel intro video. Sorry. Just before I start, I wanted to say I have been sick this past week, so if I sound a little sniffly and scratchy and a little coughy here and there, that's why, and I'm sorry. If you could just bear with me, please. Thank you. Okay, so the second thing before we get started is I wanted to let you guys know that I have permission from my proverbial ex to make these videos. He understands why I'm making them, and he's totally okay with it and gives me his blessing. So I just wanted to add that in there, just for a disclaimer, I guess. The topic that I wanted to get on today is basically, sorry, my air conditioning's on. Probably turn it down, sorry. The topic I'm wanting to talk about today is why we got to this point where we're at right now. Why are we getting a divorce after all said and done? I'm sure that there's a million and one reasons why, but these three things are really kind of like the more major of them. The first one is the fact that he's very dependent financially on his parents. Anytime a financial matter comes up where he or I or we need money to pay for something, instead of figuring out how to afford it, together, he runs to his parents, and his parents give it to him. It's just like a handout service, and I should have put my foot down as the wife and said no, that we need to stop doing that. Sometimes I didn't even know he was going and doing that too, to kind of defend my side a little bit. But that's definitely not going to help any adult learn how to be financially stable and financially independent and responsible. And especially when you're in a couple and a life partnership, those are some things that you definitely need to learn how to do together, and we never did. We are also living in a home that is owned by his parents, therefore we're not responsible for paying rent right now, but we do pay for all of our other stuff. But I do believe that being in this home, it's kind of like not our home. It's kind of like we're living in somebody else's domain, and it's just not healthy. And so that's a big factor too, and something that I have brought up in the past, but he always just kind of seemed a little leery about us trying to move out on our own. So those are his insecurities that he has to work on. I can't fix that for him, obviously. So that is one major problem that we have within our relationship, and that he has within himself. And the second one is our extreme lack of communication. He is abnormally problematic when it comes to this. He is not good at even talking about how his day went. Excuse me. Even at work, like something as simple as that. So when it comes to him discussing feelings or what he's thinking as far as our relationship goes, even, is kind of dead in the water. And that's one thing that he has always had trouble with and never really made an effort to work past. So I don't know if maybe our breakup is going to be kind of the kick in the balls to get him to like get moving and get working on that, because you know, you can't have a relationship without being able to have some kind of communicative skills. So, this isn't all his fault either. I also went through a long period of anxiety and depression, and went untreated and shut him out and shut everybody else out in my life as well. So that definitely didn't help things along. This happened especially after we lost our daughter, and I never really, I mean, I grieved, but I didn't properly grieve. And this happened in 2007, and we're in 2015. And between 2014 and 2015 was when I finally started going to a therapist and talking about it. But my therapist did say it's never too late, you know, and it's natural for people to just shut down. So if you're out there and you've lost somebody and it's been years and years and you think it might be too late, it's never too late to properly heal yourself. You have to, in order to be happy in your life. So this is another thing that he has not done, and he has just barely come to me this month letting me know that it bothers him when he sees his nieces, because it makes him wonder what she would look like running around with her cousins. And I understand this completely. And he also told me that it makes him want children. He definitely wants to try and have a child someday, you know, sooner rather than later, of course. But whereas I am in that, I'm not on that bandwagon at all, really. I considered it for like a millisecond because I loved him and I wanted to do it for him. But medically speaking, I would have to go on bed rest after the first trimester of pregnancy. I wouldn't be able to work. I wouldn't be able to do much of anything. It would be a huge financial burden and stress on him because he would have to worry about how to pay for everything. So, and I know a lot of people go to, oh, well, what about surrogacy or adoption? Or, you know, there's a million ways you can figure out how to have a kid nowadays. But when it comes down to it, those options are very expensive. They're tens of thousands of dollars. And it's just not practical. Adoption isn't practical for everybody because not everybody wants to adopt. Most people want to have their own blood-related child, which is understandable. I'm not necessarily a kid lover. They're adorable. I love my nieces and nephews to death, but I can't envision myself doing what their mothers do on a daily basis. I don't understand how they juggle everything. It just, watching them stresses me out. And it's just something, if I'm being completely honest with myself right here in the now, I am 30 years old and I am okay with not having children ever. I'm okay with that. But he is not. And so that's definitely a big deal breaker. And it's sad, but what are you gonna do? So those were like the three main problems that led up to where we are now. We're still living in that home I was talking about because we both currently cannot afford to move out on our own in San Diego, California. It's very expensive. So it kind of, our living arrangements are, I have one half of the house, he has one half of the house, and, you know, we share the kitchen, and that's it. Like, we're roommates, basically. And for now, that's okay. It'll work. I can have, I'm a mobile pet groomer, so I have a big work van that I'm responsible for keeping with me, so I can have that parked here at my home. So for now it works, but it's not gonna work forever. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. If anybody has any words of wisdom, or if they just want to share their story, feel free to, you know, chat in the comments below. I'll try and pay attention to it. I'm still really new at this, so I hope you guys have a good day or a good night, whatever it is. And please remember, if you can't love yourself, you can't love somebody else. Bye for now.